how to KPI and measure your retention strategy performance. So the EDMs and the SMSs that you're sending out to your existing customer database. I want to touch on vanity metrics and how that compares to the actual real needle movers that you should be tracking on a month-on-month basis. The reality of it is that 99% of email marketing agencies will blatantly lie to you. And the reason why they lie to you is because Klaviyo or any EMS software will try to claim every conversion on your website. And the reason email marketing softwares do this is because of the fact that on average, it takes a user 20 to 500 touch points to convert. And this is a quote directly from Google. So what ends up happening in terms of customer journeys is it looks something like this. Initially, they see a Facebook ad, then they click on an Instagram ad, then they see some organic posts, they click on a shopping ad, an abandoned cart, a brand search, and then they eventually end up buying. But when it comes to who actually gets the attribution in platform, Google claims it, Klaviyo claims it, and Facebook also goes ahead and claims it. Now, the important caveat here is that majority of users that convert with you end up getting on your email list before they end up buying. And so anyone that is on your email list and then purchases, Klaviyo will claim as a conversion because they will immediately get sent a flow or they'll immediately get sent a campaign email, which then scoops up and tracks any conversion that they make from there moving forward. So optimizing for attributed revenue within Klaviyo really doesn't align with your core decision making. Is it something you should look at? Absolutely. But is it something that you should be KPIing retention performance off? Absolutely not. Instead, what you want to be looking at is 30, 60, 90-day LTV and returning customer revenue. If your goal is rapid scalability, unlocking cash flow quickly is really important. And so that's why 30, 60, 90-day LTV is always prioritized over 365, but I don't want to neglect 365-day LTV. It's still really important and is majority of instances actually more considerable than looking at 60, 90 for most brands, as most brands sell products that don't have quick consumption rates. And so it might take 4, 5, 6 months for a user to actually come back and buy again. As a founder, a great thought exercise to run you through is a deserted island report. So if you were on a deserted island and you could only get a letter that summarized your company's performance, what key metrics should be on that letter? What would you want to see on a day-to-day basis on a small little postcard? For paid media, it's new customer revenue, MER, and CAC. And for retention, it's returning customer revenue and 30, 60, 90-day LTV. Is that to say that nothing else matters? Not at all. Diagnosing issues always lies in the secondary metrics, and that's really important. If we look at any of these 3 KPIs, this isn't going to tell us how to fix the brand. Yes, we know that we need to increase MER. Yes, we know that we need to decrease CAC, but how do we actually do so? None of that data is here. We need to look into secondary metrics and go deeper and deeper. The same thing applies for retention. Looking at 30, 60, 90-day LTV won't provide us with the solutions as to how to actually fix 30, 60, 90-day LTV. It's in the granular, smaller secondary metrics that we find those answers, but that is really for the agency or the in-house team to be diagnosing. You as a founder shouldn't be too concerned about the secondary metrics except for the next steps that are coming from them. So it's still very, very worth looking at open rates, click-through rates, unsubscribe rates, list growth rates, forwarding rates, attributed revenue per email. These are still all very important metrics to be looking at so that you can be iterating, improving the retention strategy and diagnosing. But when you're looking at KPI, when you're on a desert island and there's only a few things that you want to be looking at, and you want to be looking back quarter on quarter and seeing improvements, you want to be seeing improvements in returning customer revenue and 30, 60, 90 LTV.